Well, Gator fans, what do you even say after that? 22 years of Tennessee frustration unleashed in one night in our house. And we were the ones watching that puke orange color start to celebrate in the swamp by the fourth quarter. Florida football fans, I know that you are tired. I know you're angry. I know you feel hopeless. And today, all I can say is it's not wrong to feel any of that. Let's let's talk about whatever that was. Florida lost to Tennessee 31-11 in the swamp, weird score. A place where the Volunteers haven't won since 2003. My husband Eric was our punter. He was a freshman. I was a freshman in college. A 10-game home winning streak against Tennessee gone. A night where UF trailed 31-0 at halftime. A night where Tennessee scored on their first 4 drives like they were just running the perfect script that they had written. This was the worst home loss since Missouri embarrassed Florida in 2014. It was also the 4th straight loss. And yes, it was yet another notch in the belt of a season that feels like a marathon through misery. But every Sunday, no matter how bad it hurts, we break down the good, the bad, and the ugly of yesterday's game. So let's get into it. Okay, so the good. I'm going to start with this because it matters. I didn't feel like Florida quit. Is that a moral victory? Not really. We lost, right? So there is no such thing as a moral victory for me. But when you're down 31-0, when your stadium is still packed and your fan base is choosing to stay and fight for you and you continue to play, I do feel like that means something. Florida outscored Tennessee 11-0 after halftime. DJ Lagway, as battered and pressured as he was, did not turn the ball over. And Jaden Baugh, oh my gosh, that kid is a silver lining every single week. He had 96 rushing yards. He broke tackles. He spun out of hits. He carried defenders. He caught a touchdown. And he quite literally kept Florida from being shut out at home for the first time since 1988. We don't want that shutout streak to end. I will be completely honest with you guys, I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous that the streak was going to be over. Back to Jaden Baugh. He is the heartbeat of this offense right now. He is the bright spot in a dark tunnel. And if Florida's next coach is smart, he will build around him. You want to talk about who should be bringing in the absolute most money on this roster, NIL-wise? It should be Jaden Baugh. And I mentioned it briefly, but the streak, that streak is important. Trey Smack's field goal kept Florida's non-shutout streak alive. Now 472 straight games. It felt like they were playing to protect, a museum artifact at that point, but the streak is still alive. And finally, the players' effort. DJ Lagway said it himself. It is frustrating. The tradition, it's just hard. Devin Moore talked about bleeding, sweating, crying with his teammates. They are hurting. They are trying. They are not quitting. And as fans, even when we are miserable, we should at least recognize that the kids aren't the ones giving up. And, I know what you guys are going to say. I see the comments on social media. I talk to you guys in the stadium. I understand that this product on the field is absolutely unacceptable, but I don't feel like the players quit. I feel like they are still giving 100%. I didn't recognize half the names on the field yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but the amount of injuries is just, it's hard to overcome that. It's hard to overcome the coaching debacles. It's just, we're not in a good spot. Let's talk about the bad. Where do you even want me to start? Because this wasn't kind of bad. This wasn't a few mistakes. This was a collapse from the opening whistle. Florida had 1 yard in the first quarter. 1. Tennessee had 190. Lagway hit Baugh for that gorgeous 42-yard catch in the first quarter, only for it to be erased by holding. Again. The offensive line struggled. Again. Lagway took hits all night. 2 sacks, 4 hurries, constant pressure. Look, Tennessee has the worst pass defense in the SEC. They give up 260 yards a game. Florida should have been able to move the ball. Instead, 110 yards in the entire first half. The penalties, the missed assignments, the lack of rhythm, the inability to sustain a drive. It is the same movie that we watch every single week. And we all know the ending before it starts. And let's talk about special teams. Downing a kickoff at the 2-yard line is something that should only happen in a blooper reel, not in week 12, not in a rivalry game, not at the Swamp. Smack missed a field goal. Yes, he made one, and that kept the streak alive, and that's good, but he missed one. Punting, incredibly inconsistent, which it's been all season long. Field position killed Florida. Everything that could go wrong did. And the worst part, there's still one more game, guys, and Florida State is coming, and Florida State is one win away from being bowl eligible. Now let's get into the ugly. Here we go. The part no one wants to hear, but everybody needs to. Florida's defense got run off the field. Tennessee scored touchdowns on their first 4 possessions, and none of them were difficult. Joey Aguilar looked like he was running a scrimmage. Quick tempo, we looked completely unprepared. The same issues: missed tackles, blown coverages, slow communication, no push up front, more than 2,000 rushing yards allowed for the 3rd straight game. The Gators weren't just outplayed. They looked overwhelmed. And injuries matter. And I talked about this at the beginning. And listen, I didn't recognize names out there. A lot of names out there. Florida was missing multiple defensive starters. But this was more than injuries. This was a team that didn't respond to Tennessee's tempo. They didn't adjust, they didn't settle in, and they didn't match physically. This was the worst loss in the Swamp in over a decade. It was one of the worst Florida-Tennessee performances in modern UF history. It was the kind of night that makes fans look at each other and say, is this seriously where we are right now? And here's the truly ugly part. This is Napier's roster. This is Napier's recruiting. This is the aftermath of 3 years of dysfunction. Billy Gonzalez is doing what he can, but this is the team that he inherited on the fly. We all, as fans, want to be fair. We all want to support these kids. But as fans, we are exhausted. We're tired of moral victories. We're tired of being patient. We're tired of waking up every Sunday trying to talk ourselves into, well, maybe we can get it done next week. This used to be a program with standards. And right now, we are staring down a potential finish that is one of the worst that I can remember. That's the ugly. That's the truth. And look, I'll say this again. I don't believe the players have quit. I think they still care. I think they're still fighting for each other. I think they're frustrated. I think that they are in a position they didn't ask to be in, put in by adults, right? And I feel for them, and I think they deserve our respect. But the fan base misery, it is absolutely 100% valid. You are not dramatic. You are not overreacting. This is hard. This is embarrassing. And this is not what Florida football is supposed to be. And with 1 game left against a rival, with a coaching search still going on, with players wondering about their futures, this locker room has got to figure out a way to hold itself together with tape and hope, whatever it takes. The season is almost over, but there is a big one left. We can keep Florida State from being bowl eligible. We can save a little bit of, self-respect, dignity by beating them. And, then we get back to the drawing board. The rebuild, the real rebuild, is about to begin. And yes, I will be here with you guys through all of it. If you watched that entire game, if you stayed in that stadium and you didn't turn off the TV when it was painful, you are the definition of a loyal fan. And the players see it, I see it. We all deserve better. The players deserve better. The University of Florida deserves better. And I am really hoping that the powers that be are doing everything within their power to bring in the right person, to bring in the right staff that can bring us back to where Florida should be, where we're used to. When you get a taste of winning, you're not satisfied with anything else. We've won a lot. Florida has been the class of the SEC since the early 90s. It's time for us to reclaim our throne. And that starts with a new hire, which I hope is coming very soon. All right, guys, I appreciate it if you stuck around through the end of this video. We've got a lot of content coming your way. It is rivalry week. I want to give a shout out to Sleeper. They have been our sponsor this entire season. Our code is still valid. It's PEEK, P-E-E-K. You get 100% deposit match up to $100. If you go on there right now, you can play the fun games like we play on our previous show, the more or less. There's all different things you can do. You can use it for fantasy. I use it for my family fantasy league. But make sure you go download the Sleeper app and check them out. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll have lots more content coming your way because it is still rivalry week and there's some pride on the line. I'll see you guys real soon. As always, go Gators.